Hello, everybody. How are y'all? It is Tuesday, and if you're here, then you are in the right place. This is Tuesday. I don't know what year. Nobody does, but doesn't matter, because this is a second look where we get to look at things not
Mhm.
once, but twice,
Yeah.
sometimes thrice, but I digress. So, welcome everybody. Trina and I speak favor over you. We speak nothing missing, nothing broken. Be your ever present reality,
Mhm.
and may that always be carrying forward. So, thank you, moderators. Thank you. This is hey, Gaia. This is really a place of love. There is just it's that vibe. There's this
Yes, it is.
kindness, the sweetness.
Speaking of the date, not knowing what the date is, interesting enough, I've been seeing information, and then Jacob of Israel had it on his channel too, about how people were asking Chat GPT when was Easter this year, and it was
Hmm.
given all kinds of different dates.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and they did a couple times. When is Passover? When is this? When is Ramadan? What, they didn't know any of the dates weren't right.
Well,
I
this
was like,
Friday is Palm Sunday, and
yeah,
then
and
next.
nothing was right. And we were getting the most weirdest. I'm like, uh, how come that doesn't understand what holidays we're celebrating when we're celebrating it? I was like, that's really interesting.
Jacking with us, they are.
I was thinking the same
Man, I
thing.
mean, it's and I want to thank and I won't give the person name because I didn't get your permission, but thank you for sending the email. So, yesterday I was talking about this whole thing about media being a god. Well,
Oh,
in the American God series that was on FX on their American Horror Story, uh, in the New Gods, of which Lilith played a role, and I don't know if you went back and ever watched that series, it was deep, but there
yes.
was a god of media.
Oh, yeah. The
Yeah,
goddess media. Media. Yeah.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So, you know,
absolutely.
Gaia says confusion at its finest.
Absolutely. Conundrums
It's like
abroad.
it's like having a bottle of good Dom, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
We had some here recently, 2014 vintage, and no,
Oh,
was it
nice.
2000? Yeah, it was, and it was. Anyway, I digress. So, Trina, I haven't seen you in a little bit, dear. How have you been?
Oh, I've been good, busy, busy, busy.
That's a good
Life is
place to
moving
be.
so fast. It seems like we were talking. It's like time is just like warp speed right now.
Oh,
It's not enough hours in the day.
it's like we're going to be talking about the hype. Is there some basis of reality? There is so much being made of this eclipse. You
Uh-huh.
have the metaphysical community, you've got the religious community, you've
Yeah.
got the state, which is the other consciousness. Um, and it seems like each group or perspective has its own idea of what this is, the significance of it. Never seen more symbolism than what we're seeing now.
Yeah, this one's a doozy.
And
It's
it's all,
cray cray. I mean, wow, this one's a doozy. I've never seen so much biblical symbology either, ever. It's across the board. Do you know that the dates between this eclipse and last is six? You said that 6 months,
mhm.
6 weeks, 6 days. I'm like, there's way too much going on with this. Nineveh and Salem and the crossing and
So
rapture and oh
that
my
brings up the
goodness.
whole issue then. And in fact, we didn't talk because we,
No.
we we got on late. And so in this thing, I wrote, so is this prophecy? I said, is this God, is this the Middle Eastern God named Yahweh, Jehovah? Yeah, because you mentioned several things which are very important. Now, I am a student of biblical prophecy, was tutored under um, some of what I would consider the best biblical scholars on prophecy. And you mentioned something that it's an Old Testament prophecy, and it's in the book of Jeremiah about the red heifer. And they're now I can tell you, um, I have heard about this for decades, the red heifer. I have seen stories where the red heifer was born, and this is a very rare thing. And if you put it into context of what some are saying, we are in the biblical prophecy of Revelation. This is the time of woe. This is the time of tribulation and trials. And it is, if you connect that modern day prophecy with this Old Testament ancient Hebrew prophecy, that when the red heifer is born, it will be sacrificed on the third temple.
Yep.
Now,
It seems to me every time they start sacrificing, there is a time of woe.
well, and I talked to a Jewish rabbi friend of mine and said, "Have you heard of this third temple being built and what have you?" And he said, "No." He did
Really?
say, however, this is interesting. They have They have the location, and he says they have the funds to do this. They just haven't been given
The
the
go
go
ahead.
ahead. Yes.
Yeah. Yep. 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 They're
So,
trying to run the script, and many
well,
will run the script.
I
You know,
mean,
they
it's
will.
woo.
They believe they will run the script. It's what they believe. It's truly what they believe. They will run what they believe. You
Yeah, and
can't,
this is
you cannot make
widespread.
them not do that. They're creators. They get to create. They're if they believe they're going to run it. They're
And
gonna.
it can't be lost, the symbolism of this whole thing, because if X marks the spot, then this is the final stroke across the proverbial canvas.
Yeah.
In fact, we're not going to be. I will be down there, but the let's see. I actually have this. Let me pull this up. So, and again, this there is so much freaking fear. I mean, you got cities that are telling people to have supplies. I read
Yeah.
one fact for that, is that they said because of these dense populations, unlike the last one of 2017 that went something like that.
Hmm.
This one, as you said, and I read the story, what is there, seven cities that are translated, or no, actually are called Nineveh.
Yes.
Yeah,
Actually, they've got 11 mapped now. Interesting number, 11. When you go all the way, when you keep going, there's 11 total from what I've seen. Now, not all of them are completely fully eclipsed, but it's going to pass through 11.
interesting.
Interesting, right? But solidly, they're saying eight, I think eight in the United States.
Well, and again, if you look at this, this is where I will be right here.
Wow. Holy
And
macaroni.
I mean,
And
so
I am concerned about uh a crossing, a crossing. So
the
be very
crossing will be just east of me. In fact, I looked at this. I'm right on the boundary of the X spot, which is right over here in eastern Kentucky.
yeah, I'm seeing weather. Just we got to pray
There's all
for the
sorts of
weather to
things.
be
Yeah.
calm. Yeah, pray the weather for peace. We got to calm the storms if they appear because there's a potential for this.
But and you go back, and I remember Ben Davidson talking about this when the eclipse hit in 2017 September. We were heading up. We lived in Colorado, so we were heading right up here to Wyoming, and
Uh-huh.
this was the crossing on that point. And right after that event, the sun put out. I think it was an X, I think 7
Oh
flare.
wow. Yeah. Wow.
So, and
Yeah.
it's 3 weeks. It's April 8th. And I
Yeah.
thought it was interesting. So you have 4, 8, 24. Those all are divided by themselves. I mean, this is really interesting.
Yeah.
So I'm going,
Yeah.
I mean, numbers mean something, right?
Yeah, they do. What you're seeing is this is a crossing. So you're going to see two energies coming at each other for the first time in a crossing. We've been getting waves of it, but this one must be huge, Wayne, because of the symbology that's attached to it. It has to be important. So I keep seeing this is like the bifurcation that everybody's talking about, where we're going to see the separating of the energies of humanity. I think this is going to be a crossing point for that, and we're going to see a big shift in awakening and a big shift in panic. We're going to see all kinds of blendings of opposite energies colliding. That's what
Well,
I
it's
keep being
interesting.
seeing.
And if you look right here, Paducah, Kentucky is almost ground zero for the X spot, which is right next to Poplar Bluff, Missouri. This is all
Mhm.
down in the Boot Hill area of the state of Missouri. But you look at Little Rock, Dallas, Texas, Carbondale, Illinois, Indianapolis, Cleveland, Ohio. These are all densely populated um, areas, unlike the 2017, which was mostly open um, wildland, from Wyoming all the way to the plains. So,
Yeah.
so
Well, this is
right
interesting.
where I will be, the totality will begin, and it's pretty cool. I mean, it's going to be a 4 minute totality event where I will be at, which is going to be kind of cool. So if any of
It's
you are in this area, please get your video cameras out, send us the video, and we will post it. Make sure you follow the precautions, everybody. Please, don't look up there, but I
Mhm.
think we all know
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Oh, it's getting a little chilly. Gotta put on a
I was
coat.
gonna say, Trina, did it get cold? It's
It
like,
did. I was like,
it's like,
"Ooh, it's got a little chilly in here." I was like, "I need a coat."
geez.
Yeah,
So,
I think this is going to be a very interesting eclipse, especially with how much of America and the world is focusing on it. When we
mhm.
focus on things, that's when it's very powerful. So I keep being seen too. Like the Vesica Pisces. That the point in the middle of the two
Oh, okay.
circles,
Yes,
the
yes, yes.
Vesica
Thank you.
Pisces.
Yeah.
I keep seeing that over, and
Hmm.
they're showing me go, be in the middle. This is an opportunity to still point. And when you still point, be be still and know that I am God. This is where your most powerful creation can happen in a still point. Like a lot of creation comes from excitement,
Hmm.
orgasmic. This is the opposite part of that creation, which is the stillness. It's in the womb. So they keep showing me this isn't as a creation point. And if you can, when these energies collide, it's like showing me that we're in the Vesica Pisces.
Hmm.
That's why everything goes quiet. Nature goes quiet. Everything gets still. That's why.
But
So this
isn't
is a
stillness corresponding to, I'll say it, if you have perfect peace, you have death. It's no sensation of resistance or energy.
well,
And
it's the pendulum. You have the stillness and then you take another breath.
that's
But
what I'm
there's
saying.
still, yeah, it's
It's
between the
that
breath.
quiet point. And when you
Yeah.
said that, because I experienced it last week, you have this eerie calmness before a storm hits.
Yes. Yes.
The air is like it's freaking charged, but not a
Yes.
damn breath is being moved. Yeah, it's
Yes.
that kind of a feeling. And
Whoa.
I'm reading in the chat room, and a lot of
Wow.
people are like, hey, Robert V, how you doing? So many
Right.
people in there, Loretta and Don, and so many of y'all. Thank you. Um, anyway, it's like Gemini Ascension. That's a pretty cool handle. I like that. So, and again, let's get back to the biblical side of this thing. And listen, I am not a Christian. I used to be. Um, and someone's wrote and said, "Well, you quote the Bible so fluently and intelligently, but yet you're not a Christian. Why do you do that?" And the answer is simple, is that because that's what I know.
Yeah.
I was taught that,
Yeah.
study the Bible much like Jeffrey Doherty. I mean, you put 40 years of study into something, it's there.
It's written in you.
Yeah.
It's written in you.
Yeah.
It's written in your code. You literally
And to
have
walk
both.
away from that religion, it's a Herculean task because
Yeah.
it's again, it's there. Now, I'm appreciative of it. It taught me the occult. I've said this many times. While I
Mhm.
was in services, we were listen, when people would have a prophecy, a gift of prophecy, and they would speak maybe in tongues first, and the other person is interpreting it, that's channeling.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is. You're
Full on.
channeling a spirit.
Full on, full on. I remember
I
the
mean,
first time my aunt took me to a church, and I was like
uh,
12 or 13. I'd never been to a church where they did the snake stuff and
oh man, that's
getting
I've
taken over and the
only
tongue.
visited a church literally
Oh,
in
freaked me out.
excuse me, Western Virginia. But anyway, but
Yeah. Woo.
and that's why I know it. But here's my thought. I want to put this out there for the record. I have never said there is not a Jewish God.
Yeah.
I recognize
Hmm.
that there most likely, in all likelihood, yes, there is. What I challenge Christians is to show me how how a Hebrew God becomes a Christian God. It's impossible. And so I challenge, those who are leaving the religion, and the numbers are, they just came out recently. I think it was, the Solomon Project. Uh, the churches in the last 4 years has seen about a 25% exodus.
Yes.
That's a lot of people.
Yep.
And as I challenge people, show me who this Christian God is. But
Hmm.
having said that, I am well aware of this Hebrew God. And
Hmm.
I don't question the
You know what
prophecy
I
of the
often wonder?
prophets.
I often wonder, Wayne, if Krishna is the original Christian, like
Good.
where it came from, and then Yahweh became Christianity out of Rome. So I wonder if that's where it kind of came from. I will always wonder that. I see so much of the Jesus, the energy of Jesus is a highly advanced Eastern religion master. You know what I mean? Knowing
Hmm.
how to manipulate energy that way. That's you have to learn those things. Those are taught, as you well know.
In the
But
book of
you can,
Acts, it was said that I think it was Caesarea's where the name first was these people, the follower, and it's actually was known as the way. And yeah, that's and the thing about it is that there was no cohesion of the belief system. There were many different beliefs as to what did or did not take place. So,
oh.
and to get back to the point, I respect the prophets of of the Jewish nation.
Mm-hmm.
And today there was a prophecy in the book of Isaiah that said that Jerusalem will become a it will be a cancer to the world, that the world will be in a time of woe because of Jerusalem. And if you are looking at the politics today, it's very, and I'm sitting there and I'm watching all this because there was a poll that came out yesterday, and it said that 38% of Americans do not believe that Joe Biden is a Christian. They do not believe that he is a Catholic either because of his actions and what have you. And I'm thinking to myself, and then of course, if you look at this from a geopolitical thing, when you had Chuck Schumer come out and interfere directly into the nation of Israel's political parties, I'm sitting here going, this is like, seeing the prophets of Jeremiah, of Isaiah, and then the minor prophets, which are Habakkuk, and there's a number of others. And I'm watching this and I'm going, so are we seeing prophecy actually unfolding before us? And if that's the case, then how do you begin to rationalize that? Now, the Christians will come in and say, well, you see, that's our God. That's why we can tell you Jesus is coming back because that's our God, but it's not your God. I mean, the Old Testament has become a problem now for the Vatican, where they're thinking about actually convening another council to
Yeah.
disassociate themselves from the Old Testament. The
Yeah.
problem is, if you do that, who's this God? So anyway,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
this, all of this has this, it's all connected, Trina,
It is all
in some
connected.
way.
And I think it's like when humanity realizes that whatever God is, the creation, whatever God is, it is what it is.
Yeah, but see, I
None
don't
of
see
us,
this as the
none of
God of
us might have
creation.
it right. We might not even have it right, any of us. So
Very
yeah, I
good
mean, really, for
possibility
real.
we're all wrong.
Right. That's my
Yeah.
point. I
I mean,
mean,
that's what
for
LaSone
real.
said. You guys
Well,
have got it
yes,
all wrong. Your
I
religion,
think,
you know,
yes, yes, I
you know.
agree with that. I think we do not have enough information to truly know because we have amnesia.
I think it is true.
So how would we know? These are all programs. They're all programs. It's all of it. It's all
Some people in the
programs of
chat
this
room are
construct.
saying, John says resets. I think that there is a lot
Yeah.
of legitimacy to that. I mean, reset is you hear about it, and you hear it in from the elite, the Klaus Schwab group, and then you hear it from political opponents. You even hear
Wait,
it
look at
from, what's that, hon?
Egypt. Look at
Yeah.
Egypt. What was the god name? Set. And what a sunset. That's a reset because it's a new day. It goes all the way back. This has been going on a long time.
Someone read that the Bible is
Reset.
a code book and never to be taken literally.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of
I
truth to
think
that.
that
It is
there's,
a code book.
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
there
can
have been
see
a
code in
number
it.
of
Yeah,
algorithms on, and folks, I don't know where Miss Ginny is at, but
I don't either. I was
I didn't
wondering.
get an
Is it
email
really
from
cool?
her or anything, so
Hmm.
we're hoping she can get, hey, cowboy, what's up? And
Yeah,
again, it's all connected because,
yeah.
you've got two events unfolding here, that, um, is this, are we truly on the precipice of something that's going to blow all of our minds?
I think so, and I
I mean,
can't wait to
doesn't it
watch.
have that kind of that feel? And I don't know if it's this event. I don't know if it's this eclipse. I'm going down there just because it's a astrological event that any human to see is our ancestors saw this as great battles taking place. There is a belief that if you're in the shadow and you prepare yourself, you can literally be transported to the other world, the upside down world.
Yeah,
That this,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
yeah.
I think that could be possible. That could be careful. It's like, do you know how to get out?
Well, and therein lies problem because you either got like 2 to 4 minutes, but
Oh,
yeah, but then
possibly.
again,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
if
Yeah.
it's like going by the perfume counter at Macy's, they can spray it and I can walk right through it and I'm going to carry that smell with me on the other side. Know what I'm talking
That
about?
is another
Uh-huh.
true. That's true
There's truth
too.
to, I'm telling you, I
Oh
could,
yeah, that stick, stick, stick
I mean, I
signal.
inject myself into that freaking energy and I come back out.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know. I'm going to be smelling different. Maybe. I don't know. You know?
Right. Could be Pepe Le Pew.
Oh, there is so much going in the chat room here. In the year 1999, the 7 months for the sky will come to the great king of terror. He will bring back to life the great king of the Mongols before and after war reigns. Oh, that's on the 10th quatrain for
Mm.
Nostradamus. Yeah.
Oh. Oh.
I
Yeah,
mean,
I think
you,
there's something very powerful happening, Wayne, and I think this is going to be 6 months. They keep showing me this energy is going to be shifting things for 6 months, which is incredible. That's a while.
yeah, yeah.
That's a
And
while.
I expect to see, and this is just me, but
Mhm.
I am fully anticipating. So if the prophecy holds true, then we should be entering, according to the 70 weeks of the books of Daniel, we should
Mhm.
be entering in a time that there will be great signs in the heavens. Now,
Boy, aren't there? Whew.
coincidentally, after this eclipse, do you know what the next great cosmological event is?
What?
The comet coming in with the horns.
The
We'll
devil.
be we'll
Yeah.
be able to see it in June. Look into the northwest about
Well,
11 degrees, no, probably a little bit more, about 27 degrees off the
isn't
horizon.
April 8th? April 8th, the comet is coming through, the
Well,
devil
it's
comet.
coming. We're going to be seeing it again, and this is one of the comets. See, I remember Hale-Bopp.
Um,
I remember Halley's
Me too.
comet. Yeah,
I saw Hale
yeah,
Bopp. Yeah.
yeah. So
Mhm.
this one here should be very now. Comets have always been bad omens.
That's what
Always
the natives
represent.
believe.
Oh,
Yeah, the
it's
Native
it's it's in
Americans.
biblical
They said
prophecy.
don't go outside, don't go outside. They say no.
Well, you read it in again in the book of Jeremiah. It's in the book of I think it's in one of the Pentateuchs as well. Comets are they are omens from God of pending judgment, is what it means. And
Ah,
with judgment comes destruction. And so
that's why
are we entering in a period now?
I think so. I really do. And I really think this is, like I said, man, this is a crazy simulation. They're running this thing like to the
Twilight
street
Mist says you're
right now.
supposed to be able to see the comet during the eclipse in some places. I've heard. Cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Very interesting. Sean says the watchers will be actively participating. I think that
Oh,
there's
I
some
would
thing
agree.
on that.
Yeah.
Brandy says they carry ancient viruses, and that's
I
true. I mean,
wonder, I wonder,
yeah.
Wayne, too. I wonder if this energy is going to open up the perceptive field. And I wonder if people are going to get a glimpse of the other dimensions, like that dream I had. And I wonder if they're going to see the ships.
Listen, here's a thought that when you just said that. So we're getting bombarded with cosmic rays because the magnetopause is weakening.
Yeah.
So we know it has an effect on our cognitive functions,
Yep.
but I kind of look at it this in the spiritual aspect. So if my spirit is made of that which this universe is apparently made of, or so they say, then if there are such cosmic rays coming in, wouldn't that then be potentially possible that I can accelerate my awareness into different levels?
Yes, I
I
would
mean,
think
wouldn't that
so.
be the case?
Well, I know that we can do that at all times. So, but this is a window where I think it's the magnetics affect our brain. So I just see that this could be a window where people that never saw anything before could see things. And I
I
and
think
I and
one of the things I'm going to do at the eclipse, Trina, I'm just going to be giving recognition to Lilith. I'm going to be giving
Mhm.
recognition to the other entities because I can got to get this idea that maybe this is more than just an eclipse. Maybe it is truly this opening. There is so much out there now, whether you watch Netflix or whatever it is out there on Prime. And I've been seeing more and more shows dealing with this topic matter, not specifically the eclipse, but the fact that there is this potential portal opening. And
yes,
and and I think that,
that's what they're
potentially
showing me. The Vesica
there
Pisces.
you
It's like a
go.
portal. It's like a portal. It's
Yeah.
the oval. It's the consciousness beyond the two perspectives of the duality holding itself together. It's the still point where there's absolute all creation. You know that black space, that void you were talking about?
Mm-hmm.
I think that could be a Vesica Pisces. A lot of people could be sitting in the Vesica Pisces. It's
Mm.
like the womb. It's literally, it's a still point for creation, and you can get inspired in that still point. And that still point allows creation to literally download into you. So you can become the vessel for the inspiration to do wonderful things in the planet. That's how all our creation inventions come. It's all through inspiration. So I do think that we could use this potential for really, really high purposes if we can focus our energy properly.
I think you're right. And hey, JD, good to see you, brother. From JD from the Light and the Darkness. Going to get you on here, brother. All right, so I want to throw this out. So you were talking about this, and all of a sudden, I'm getting this picture in my mind. So you know what the uniqueness is about Paducah, Kentucky? That
Mm-mm,
whole area right there?
mm-mm.
It's a natural vortex.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
They have caves that and those who do spelunking, I used to do a lot of it, will tell you that they haven't found the end of these caves. And it's the story about the guy who started everything came from those caves right there. So here I'm sitting here, and if anyone's living in the Paducah area and you're going to be down there, love to see if you'll take some video, and because that's real interesting. These natural places of vortex. I know there's maps. I wonder how many of that this eclipse will hit across.
I bet you a lot.
You know, I was
I'm
thinking.
like hearing a lot. Yeah, I'm hearing a lot. I'm sitting there. Is it going through Arkansas?
Oh, right through the middle of it. In
Oh, see,
fact,
I just saw Arkansas light up. Wow,
let me
for
pull this
real.
back up.
I did see that. I literally saw Arkansas. The crystals, I just saw all the crystals in the earth lighting up. Like I literally just saw a massive, yeah, massive. This is definitely going to be powerful energy, guys. Wow.
See, right
Mhm.
here, and right
Wow.
where the X is, this area is a natural vortex. And you can go there, you can experience it yourself. But now as you're looking at and look at it literally goes right through the middle of Arkansas, literally.
Wow.
And
Yeah,
Texas is
I
the same
literally,
way.
and I literally heard Texas. Is there vortexes in Texas?
Oh, yes, there is. Yes,
Okay,
there
because I
is.
literally, that's why I saw Texas, and but I didn't see Texas. I heard Texas, but then I saw
So
Arkansas
right over
green.
here, down from Austin, between San Antonio and Austin, is this New Bronzeville, and it's a great place. It has a natural spring fed,
Wow.
and yes, that area has these natural vortexes in that. So this is really interesting, and through Arkansas, it's getting more interesting as we speak, Trina.
Yeah, they keep showing me this is a powerful blending of energies, and we really need to guide and direct this energy because it's going to be very almost scary for a lot of people. The stillness, it'll panic people. So we have to be able to embrace that stillness and manifest in that stillness and say, this is
Hmm.
when we create our new reality. This is when we create peace on earth. This is when we create the things we want. This is create that which you want to see.
There is a lot to this. So I'm going to look at something,
I
hon.
think
So you go
so.
ahead and talk there a little bit because I want to pull up the path of the 2017. So,
Okay. Yeah, Wayne, I've been, like I said, I had that session and they were showing me more about the visions I had when I was a child. And all of that information, it just got expanded because,
mhm.
there's, you only get so much and then you have to do the rest on your own. And it was difficult. But yeah, they kept showing me that this was a major shifting and splitting of energies. Like this is going to affect the consciousness. And I don't know why that is, but it was like they couldn't tell me. But like some events were going to shift the consciousness. This was like the portal and remember the child prophet kept showing me the three O holes that we would go through? I think these eclipses, the first one was one of them, and this one is another, and we have to go through more. But that was a symbolic for transformation and changes. We're going through O holes, and these O holes, depending on where we land as a humanity in our consciousness, is where we're going to go in the timelines of the different realities, the different spheres of consciousness that we're all existing in currently. So it's a conundrum to try to explain how our consciousness bounces into different locations, but it does.
Yeah,
So
and I'm just pulling. Here we go. So give me one second. This is very interesting as we're talking. Um, so check this out, Trina, as I come back over here.
yeah,
Do-do-do-do. So check this out. So this is what we were talking about.
yeah, the
There it
cross.
is. Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow. And
crossing.
yes.
And then Nibiru is called the planet of the crossing.
Mm-hmm.
So it just, there's so much to this. I'm like, this is very interesting.
Very interesting.
Yeah,
And then the years,
is this
you're
comet possibly planet Nibiru coming in?
well, I was
Yeah,
involved in that mindset for a number of years. And, of course, everyone was talking, about the horned, you know, planet.
yes, yes,
I mean, it's just interesting.
yes, it is. It is so interesting. So
So
yeah, we
X
got the,
marks the spot, as they would say.
yeah, and that's where the treasure is, always on the treasure map.
Mm, mm, mm.
So see, there's so many ways you can go with this when you go opposite.
Yes. Let's see
Yeah,
here.
because X is where the treasure is. When you get to the X, that's where the treasure is at. Your journey is over. You found the treasure. It's there, and it's in the center almost of America.
Well, exactly. And I was just looking at this. You can virtually see this almost does cut the country, you know, certainly
Yes.
divides us, doesn't it?
Yes, it sure does. It's also too, this could be when we could blend the opposite energies. And what happens when you blend energies, when you hit something with its opposite, it neutralizes it. It cancels it out.
Yeah.
And, and then vibrationally, organically, everything resets to the organic blueprint because it doesn't know where to go. So it goes back to the original codes and imprints from the organic source code. So this could be a canceling out of a lot of things that have harmed us into perfection and balanced healing. I mean, you could really work this energy and like say, okay, I got bit by a snake. Oh, you know what? I'm going to get bit by the anti-venom this time, and the anti-venom is going to be produced in my body. Literally work with the opposites. That's what they keep showing me. If you blend these energies, you'll collapse them and it'll
Now, you want to
heal.
know another interesting fact? As you were talking, I was just reading. This eclipse has almost twice the size of the path, than the one in 2017.
Really, it's twice as wide.
About twice as wide.
Wow. That's very interesting. So that means it's going to be twice as strong.
I mean, it's just
Twice
interesting
as
seeing that,
strong.
they did the
That's,
comparison.
yeah,
Um,
Wayne, that literally means it's going to be twice as strong.
can you see it here?
Yeah, it is. It's going to be
Yeah.
twice as powerful. So the first one was very powerful. Those
Yeah.
pictures you got are still
Oh
blow my
man.
mind to this day. They blow my mind.
That
They were so
was
radical. That was the portal. You saw the portal.
yeah, yeah, caught it dead center. I mean,
Hmm. I don't know how you caught that. They wanted you to see that because there's no way. And I didn't see nobody else that caught what you caught. And that was absolutely, that was when I realized Child Prophet was right. And I think that was the first hole we went through. That was the portal. We saw the gate.
I like that one. I like that. True. Yeah.
Yeah, I do. And you caught it because nobody else saw anything like that, but you caught that. And I was like, he saw what I was seeing because always a pyramid. It's always a
Yes.
pyramid. Every
Yes.
time to get out of the bubble, you got to get to the organic trinity that control and creates the bubble through the life breath code thing. So you got to get back into the pyre, and then to get out of that, you got to go up instead of down, and it's different. It's like, oh, seriously, but it's always a pyramid. Always a pyramid.
Bonnie says X is also female. Yeah.
Yes, it is
Lost in
divine
Space says
feminine.
the sun is
Yeah.
closer. It's interesting. Okay.
That's what I was thinking. Was
Yeah.
that, yeah, is
Yeah.
that the, yeah,
I
okay.
see Jenny in there in the chat room. Dear, I sent you, is the link not working,
I
hon?
wonder, I wonder if she got the same problem I did and had to do
Yeah.
the whole redo thing. I had to
Yeah.
do, yeah, I had a technical glitch going on.
Yeah. Hey, Mary Wins, how you doing? Um, I
Hello.
haven't seen. Hello. It's like I hope everyone's doing good. So it's very interesting because as you continue to look at this, And
It's
and
very
I'm left
interesting.
here. I just got to be candid with you. So I'm going. So are we really seeing the and according to the biblical prophecy, Old Testament, um, and of course, I don't know what their interpretation would be of signs and wonders, taking place in the heavens. And the heavens would be defined as more as the firmament than what we would see as outer space.
Hmm.
Um, there is the prophecy in the book of Revelation that says that we will see the stars change.
Hmm.
If we see stars change, then that means we're no longer in the
In
place of
the same
space.
position we
Yeah,
were.
it's like we know the Milky Way. So if what
Hmm.
happens is everything just going to get inverted upside down? Is that what that means? And that's what it says.
You know, that makes sense because when you look at creation in entropic systems, they go through a process of involution and evolution. And through that process, they invert and flip upon itself and recreate.
Mm-hmm.
That's very
Interesting.
possible. Very possible.
I said, someone says I've made videos of Jupiter and Mars. Interesting. Scotty's, boy,
Mhm.
I do love getting candid.
Yeah, they keep
Well,
showing me,
I
Wayne,
think
that
I
this
saw
is like
something else, Scotty boy, when you said that.
yeah, Wayne, I really keep seeing that this is like like you're saying, like flipping in on itself. That's the
Yeah.
best of Pisces kind of is that position where everything inverts in on itself. It's a, like, yeah, it's a very creative, powerful point. So,
And Trina,
um,
we've studied, for instance, the Colburn Bible. If you read the bronze books,
mhm, mhm,
in the book of the Destructor,
mhm.
it talks about that the Destructor will come back, and that when it does, it will be upon us. We won't even realize what happened. And
Yeah, see, and that could be like a comet or something,
could
and
be
that
like
could be
Nibiru. I mean,
well, and also too,
wandering planet, sun.
it could be Shiva,
Could
the
be.
destroyer. It could be Shiva. It could, I mean, it could be so many things. It really could be.
And then you got to think about Shiva, and you think about as well Kali, which
Mhm.
is the goddess of CERN, the
Uh-huh.
Hadron Collider. And I'm
Yeah,
going,
yeah,
so, all right, so follow me. So we know that time has been jacked with,
yeah,
and you hear all sorts of rumors and conspiracies, on the Large Hadron called the HDL, I think it's what it's called.
yeah.
Um,
Large
did
Hadron
they breach
Collider.
another dimension?
Yeah,
Did they breach another world?
I think that they've reported that they absolutely have done that.
I mean, why would you need the goddess of life and death there? I mean, that's what Kali
Because they
is.
know if they screw up, it could kill everybody. Because boom, it
Or
could
is
be a
she going to
problem.
kill us anyway in order for
Or,
it to actually get it?
well, not
Uh,
only that, look at the biblical references for they were given the key to open the bottomless pit, and what they opened, they shall not be able to close. This could be specifically for CERN.
well, that is one of the prophecies that,
Yeah,
Abandon
yeah,
will open up in the
yeah.
Arabian Sea. So,
I literally saw that it would be CERN, or they
hmm,
would be trying to open or create a portal. And if they succeeded, they could open up a portal from to somewhere that they don't know where, what, and when it does, it's like rut row, but they would not be able to close. That's kind of scary. That could
boy, the
change
chat room
everything.
is going. Hey, I have the Maelstrom. How you doing?
Hi, everybody.
Gosh, I mean, it is like going there. And, there is so much happening, and you can't. I, I stay involved in politics because, it's just something I like to observe. I see politics now as not so much individuals as I do as the gods and goddesses. I see entities and deities, demigods, all in play. It now makes sense to me about Washington, D.C. And you got Washington, D.C., you've got London, you've got Rome, the triad, and there's a reason why those gods are on the facades of every one of our, whether it's our Supreme Court, whether it's our Capitol. I mean, it's
Yes.
there.
Yep. Yep.
And
Because,
so
yeah, matter
I
needs
think maybe
three.
the gods are, and I say gods in the pearl form of both male and female, that is there elements of truth from is going back as far as the Greek mythologies, going back to
Yeah.
Babylon, Sumer.
Yeah. I can't, I mean, you just got to think, okay, our consciousness might not be where their consciousness was, but where their consciousness was at that point in time, that would have been their truth. These would have been their stories, their legends, whatever. So, yes, I mean, because what you think you believe. I mean, if you believe it,
Mm.
it's true in you, it's true for you. So, I think that's very much a part of what they were and a part of what they believed. And I
I
think
think they're
that's
here.
all, yeah, I think that's,
Twilight Mist says the goddess of life and death walks the line between worlds. She is a
yes,
god of boundaries and similar to the god Janus in the way,
yes,
who is about portals, except she is the
yes.
power to life, death as well. Thank
See,
you.
because
That is
that
wonderful.
makes so
Thank
much
you.
sense to me because the father aspect of she is the portal part and she is the creator part, the manifester. She can manifest because the physical matter's mother. And all matter has to have a trinity because you can't shoot the light through. You got to have the prism to create the light into the rainbow because it's invisible. You can't, there's no form.
Huh.
To
Now
get
this gets
form, you
in.
must have fire, 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 fire. You
Well,
must have pyramid.
also, if you look at this, so the male consciousness, I call it the male virus, has been predominant in this world. I guess we could say technically probably 5,000 years. I mean,
Yeah,
thereabouts.
at least, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yep.
So if the divine feminine was first,
Hmm.
and this male aspect of whatever the power, the deity, the entity has been the predominant thought, what if she's about to ascend back to her rightful throne? And
I
all of
think
this
that's,
is just part of that process because
I think,
upheaval is going to come.
I think that's the whole story of the Nag Hammadi, the redemption of Sophia, of
Yes,
the
I'd agree on
redemption
that.
of
I
her,
would,
the
yeah,
redemption
yeah.
of the divine feminine. And when you think about it too, she peered into the darkness, and the demons grabbed her and she was raped and defiled and she escaped and fled and they say she dove into a tree. So what do you think that tree would be? The tree of good and evil,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
because there's only
And
part of
and
her.
she has a
There's
debt
only
to
part of
settle.
her.
Hey,
Yeah, there's only
Chloe.
part of her. Just like when we incarnate as a fractal, they only got a fractal of her. But this is what created all of this, was because they captured a part of the divine feminine
And
in a,
and I
in,
tell you, that's why I really appreciate
in
someone said, well, Stark, you never saw Lilith. I never said I saw her. I
right.
said I felt her.
Oh,
So
and
first of
that
all,
is
you should
different.
be honest with yourself. I never said that, but I did feel her.
Oh, yes.
And I say that because this channel, this community, I'll just say this, it has more women, more of the female part of our species than it does males.
Mhm.
And I think there's a reason for that.
Yes, you guys are very much more logical and we're more intuitive. So
Yeah.
it's the maternal part of us. But like you, Wayne, you've always used your intuition more than your logical part, but you know how to use both in
Hmm.
balance. But you've always done everything on your gut. Always. You trust your gut. You know it saved you, keeps you, no, you know. You've
It
always done that.
saved my ass more than it kicked my ass.
Yes. So that's what I'm
So,
saying. You've
so,
always
uh,
embraced that power. But a lot of men struggle with it because unless I think you're not safe, you don't tap into it because you don't need to use your intuition to save yourself. So they just stay in their own functioning logical brains, go to school, do their jobs, whatever. But you were forced through circumstances to tap in, to tap into
Yeah.
more than the extraordinary to make it through the experience. And that was your gift because you learned how to walk with both. And that's a balance. That's when you marry the opposites. You
Mm-hmm.
do it. You do
Mm-hmm.
it every day. You know how to do the opposites and blend them. That's what they were showing me in my vision too with the third path. That's what they mean. Walking the third path. Many wish to go, but few will walk. It's only when you can blend both parts.
You see, I
Mm.
know instinctively there is a place where the male never can go.
And
And
vice versa. A
yeah,
place where
and
the
it's
female can
just,
never go. Yeah.
yeah, it's just part of this construct. And
Hmm.
I do believe in my spirit that we come from a place where the autogen of me, which is female,
Yes.
exists.
Yes.
I'm
And in the
convinced of that.
beginning, and in the beginning, I think the first original image of man was a truly androgynous being.
I believe it was. I do.
So it had everything in it. It was male, female. It's, and this might be because when you speak of man, that's a species. So when you think of man in the androgynous form, it's a template of all that is. And then you have to drop down in vibration with that original image to create a separation of masculine and feminine. So to get into these bodies that we hold now, we had to be genetically modified into a division. So we were
Yeah.
divided to experience division in these bodies because you have to be divided or you would never not. But that's
Still
why we
say
still
that it's
hold both
it's
in
like
us.
we're gods and goddesses. We're gods in training. I
Well,
mean,
we're fractals of creation, so yeah.
so
What?
we
How could
have
we
to
do
be,
anything else? There's no other option. But
just
yeah, there's no other option. We have conscious awareness of an I am presence, and we obviously have the ability to make choices and affect our realities and our bodies and all kinds of other things. So yeah, dogs make dogs, horses make horses. Creator's going to make children that create.
and that what then thank you, because I think that's exactly what we do. If they
We
say
don't
that
have any
your
option.
environment is you because you
We
create
would
it,
do it wrong. We just do it. We don't even know. We just do it. It's just part of what we are.
and I keep referring to this, but back in my youth when I guess I was just 16, but a lot of people were dropping LSD and mescaline. And so I was part of this community outreach. It was a house where if you were really stoned or tripping and were having a bad time about it, you could come there and you could talk to counselors. And the counselors they brought in were people like me who were who had been stoned many times, high on LSD, but we had the ability to reach into these people's minds and turn what they were seeing as a very unpleasant thing to calm them down and put within them the simple meditative thought, and we would use the technique is that just think of the word peace. And in the touch, particularly in the hands, were very important to bring them back into that place. So my point is,
Yeah.
you learn how to walk in these different realms. And I look back now and I think that's exactly what was happening. So as an adult, as I look at this now through the study of the occultism to, esoteric studies, I can see this because I've experienced it.
Yeah.
It's real.
Absolutely. It is real. It's
Yeah.
very real. Very real.
Yeah.
It's even
Yeah.
like when a little child falls down, they run to their parent or whoever's the big
Mm-hmm.
person around that knows how to kiss that boo boo. or they want you to hold it and touch it.
It's
It's
true.
they intuitively know I'm
Oh.
traumatized right now and I need you to help balance my energy field. So lay your hands on me.
I love it. I love it.
That's
Hey, Gilbert
that's
Smith, how you
we're
doing,
smart.
brother?
We know
Yeah,
we
yeah.
know what to do. We know, and we just won't allow the children in us to still be alive in us. And that's when we can get back to that, we're going to see a lot of really happy things because we'll go back to children, and children are the most powerful wizards on this
I am a
planet.
child and I marvel of what I have become.
Yeah,
I
me
mean,
too.
as a kid,
Me
I'm
too.
still that kid. I'm looking through lenses now and I'm going, wow.
Yeah, I don't want to ever grow up. I know.
It's like
It's
I
no.
almost kind of expected that, but there have been a few surprises, and it's that
Yeah.
wonderful, that wonderment of our child. It's
Yes.
so weird that we're talking about this. Just this morning, I read an article that they're making progress of getting people to remember their births.
Oh, wow.
And I thought, we've talked about this on this very show, and I'm just sitting and going, wow,
Yeah,
what would
you can
that
do it.
do to a person's freaking awareness that if you can remember that moment coming in here, was that the moment consciousness was sparked, or was it what?
No, not
Yeah,
from
see,
my understanding, but yeah, but no. But yeah, but no, what an experience. Like I said,
what an experience.
I remember going into my baby body, but not getting born. But I
Yeah.
remember being shoved into my physical body because you bounce back and forth before you anchor into the body. It's like you still
I
have
still
free
say many
access.
of us wanted to back out, but we
Oh,
got
I did.
sucked
I
in.
wanted to back out big time. I was nope, nope,
Like,
nope.
oh,
Yeah.
it's like, hey, I'll be back.
Yeah, and
It's
I'm
like,
like, and I know my contract. And then they
and
were
don't
like,
play with my shit either.
yeah, but yeah, apparently I was already in the third dimensional realm.
Scotty
Oops.
Boy says, I'm a child. I'm okay with who I am. Yeah, that's my point.
Right.
Exactly. You know,
You know, the children have the most innocence. They trust. And that's what we struggle with is trusting our intuition. See, children know how to listen. So that's why they're always in a trusting aspect, is because they know they need to be in a trusting position so they can hear their inner voice and follow those little nudges of the spirit. They know that intuitively. That's why they're very trusting. They're also filled with wonder. Time
hmm
isn't the same for them. A day is like 2 weeks for us right now. And every moment is something new. Every moment is something they haven't seen before or thought of before because their brain is exploding like a sponge, grabbing everything around it it can. It's programming itself from the realities it's existing in because it's not even fully present yet. It's in theta, it's still in the dream state.
Jan
So
says,
we're
my birth
beautiful when we're in
was
our child mind.
was very traumatic. I fought like hell not to be born.
I
I
think
think
me
there's some
too.
truth to that. Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, here we are. I never did. Jenny, I can see you in the chat. I just haven't seen what was well, anyway, we'll deal with it next week. Make sure she gets it.
Interesting. Yeah.
Uh Twilight Mist, I just listened to a dowsing video. Part of it is the way they talked about many people feeling unwanted from birth as a cause of many issues later on. Many things can
Absolutely.
make a newborn feel that way. Why ain't that the truth?
Absolutely.
That
Absolutely.
is true. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yep.
Wow. I love this group.
Yeah, that's some
Um,
beautiful trauma to heal. I've seen people heal that trauma before. It's mind
yeah.
blowing. It's mind blowing
Uh,
healing.
oh, Jenny says our clocks went back. Actually, they went forward. It's the funny thing we do over here in America. We think that we're
You're
masters of time.
you're
Well,
two
that's
hours
what it is.
earlier for me.
Really?
I
That's
watched.
right, because I'm in the central time zone now.
Yeah, yeah, you're 2 hours earlier for me now. Hmm.
Wow, so noon is 10 o'clock your time in the
Correct.
morning. Wow.
Correct.
Okay, well there's your
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah.
Uh Haynes says birth was unwanted, but here I am. Well, we're glad you are here. Thank you.
That was one of the things that I heard in my session.
Hey,
They were like,
Casey.
They were like, thanks for coming in, or thanks for trying so hard to stay after you tried so hard not to come in. I was like, oh, that's funny. That's a good one.
I
Thanks so
love
much
that.
for trying so hard to stay and not die when you tried so hard not to come in here. I was like,
Like, damn
yeah,
it.
note
I
taken.
tell you, I didn't want in here. Goddess
Yeah,
of
note
Venus
taken.
says, spirit of rejection starts in the womb.
It
Wowza.
can. It's true. It can.
Yeah.
It so can.
Woo.
Imagine babies that are a different polarity of blood than their mom and they're trying to kill each other in the womb. Think about what that experience could do to a baby too. This is deep stuff and it's real because that child inside you, that human, you're that human and you are way more aware of what's real than when you're in that baby body and coming into this world than you do now. So the wisdom and the knowing of what's going on must be even more intense than we can perceive at this moment.
Yeah.
Hmm. Children are amazing.
Woo. And I think Bonnie
Mhm.
said Arizona doesn't change their time, neither does Indiana.
Nope.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think it's nuts, to be honest with you.
I do too.
It's like, I get why they did it back in the day because we were an agrarian society, but we ain't farmers anymore. With the vast
Nope.
majority. All right, everybody. Much love, Jenny. If you can let us know what if that runs a conflict, and we understand. Um, I always do it at noon, and it tells you that time is relevant. It's noon in my
Yeah.
reality. It may not be
Right.
yours, right?
Or mine.
Nor
Yeah.
mine, nor mine.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
all relative. That's all I have to say. Well, all right. Much love, everybody. Miss Trina, I'll see you next week for sure, hon.
Yay.
Yeah. So
Love you all.
everybody, keep looking beautiful. Thank all of you. You guys have, well, you've made this reality, and it is a place of refuge. It truly is. And I am
Mm.
honored. Chloe, I saw your unboxing. Actually has some beautiful crystals.
Oh, she always
I
gets beautiful,
mean, yes,
beautiful crystals. Yeah.
this is
Beautiful.
one I keep with me all the time that she sent. It's a
Oh,
great,
that is, yeah, that's
yeah, it's just,
beautiful.
yeah.
I've got,
So,
yeah, quite a collection of treasures that I have from you,
mm,
this whole tribe.
yeah.
Yeah,
Jenny
quite a
says,
bit.
fantastic show.
Thank you,
Well,
Jenny.
well,
Miss
thank you, Jenny. You know,
Poppy.
we had you here in spirit. I mean,
Yeah,
that's,
I hope it
so
works for you for time.
yeah.